Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video, and it's a big one. The new rotation of Doom Tower bosses are out. They've just released it in Content Creator Chat, so we've got a visual now on the two bosses that are going to be part of the next rotation. We don't know for sure the dates that things are going to be released, but it feels like they're giving us the information now. It's probably going to go into the server next week, and just looking at the time we've got left on Doom Tower, 1 week. I mean, it feels like it's going to have to go live next Friday. Feels like this is the next rotation of Doom Tower. So next Friday, we're going to get these new bosses to have a look at. So let's have a look at the skills then. What's going on? Astronix. This is the one I'm kind of most excited for, honestly. A really different type of mechanic they're going to throw into the game. So looking forward to this. As ever, kind of looks very cool. And yeah, great job on the visuals, as ever. So let's talk about what she's doing then. A1. AoE attack. Everything she's doing is AoEs by the looks of it. AoE attack. 100% chance of placing leech on every enemy for 2 turns. So straight up, whenever she's doing damage, she's going to be hitting and gaining health back. That's an A1. A2, Dark Tendrils. AoE again. Steals a random buff from each enemy. You're the enemy. She's stealing your buffs. According to the number of magic champions on the enemy team. 1 buff for every magic champion. I like this already. I see where it's going. I like it. Steals turn meter from each champion according to the number of force champions. 10% for each force champion. Has a 25% chance of placing True Fear on each enemy. It increases by 25% for each void champion. And it looks like, again, and then you've got the spirit here. So heals by 10% of a max HP for each spirit champion on the enemy team. So the heal is kind of like a passive. There's not going to be a way that you can resist outside of that. The True Fear you would be able to resist unless there's something in a kit that tells you can't in a minute. The turn meter you would be able to resist. She's stealing your turn meter, so you could stop her from stealing it if you've got enough resistance, I would imagine. And the steal buffs, again, is kind of a resistible thing. So it feels like spirit champions are hampered here. So I don't think you'd be able to stop that from happening, that heal. A3, attack all enemies again. All living allies will team up and join the attack. So it's like an ally attack she's going to do. Damage increases for 25% for each living ally. So that could be nasty. A4, Dark Abduction. Banishes 1 enemy champion and spawns a mirror copy of them onto her team. This is such a cool mechanic. Places a fear debuff on all enemies for a turn as well. Increases her dark energy counter by a turn. I guess we're going to find out what that is in a minute. Yep. That's on a 4-turn cooldown. So every 4 turns, she's going to steal one of your champs, but she's also throwing fear out, which means you kind of skip a turn unless you've got a way to get rid of that. So it's kind of almost like it's on a 3-turn cooldown, which is nasty. She's then got some passives. So places a perfect veil on herself for 3 turns and spawns mirror copies of all enemies into her team at the start of the battle. Wow. Wow, that's nasty. That is really nasty. So just a straight up passive. She hides herself. You've got to face yourself. You've got to face your own team. Summons mirror copies of all enemies onto Astronix's team every time her dark energy counter reaches 5. So the A4 there was increasing her counter. I don't think anything else has got that going on so far. So she steals the whole team again every time it reaches 5. Also places Perfect Veil on herself for 3 turns every time her dark energy counter reaches 5. Ooh, that is a nasty old passive right there. That is a nasty, nasty passive. Right. Another passive here. Immune to stun, freeze, sleep, provoke, block, cooldown, steals fear, and true fear. Looks like she's not immune to any poison or burns or anything like that. Also immune to HP exchange, which is normal, and balancing. It doesn't say that her ads are immune to HP exchange. So if you've got someone that can, that is a low health champion that can throw this kind of switch of health onto one of your allies in effect, then that could be quite interesting. Okay, onto the passives again then. So damage from steals with enemy max HP cannot exceed 10%. So that's that normal passive where all of the big hitters like your Cold Hearts and Septimuses and that won't do their big nuke. And all turn meter reducing effects are reduced by 50% against this boss, similar to other Doom Tower stuff. Damn, I mean, just off the cuff, it feels like being able to remove debuffs is going to be helpful for things like the Leech and the Fears. So someone like a Doom Priest in the team is still going to be good, like she is in all these fights. But it does feel to me like you might be better off taking no Spirit Champions and going higher resistance. That's like my initial feeling. You are going to have to bring some serious damage to kill the mirror copies before you start doing damage to her. Or you're going to have to be hitting with AoE damage or things like HP burn so that when the mirror copies get a turn, at least they're burning the main boss. So it feels like another HP burn kind of AoE ability is going to be strong here. Feels like it's going to be very, very nasty though. Real nasty fight. And it'll be interesting. Once we see it in action, be interesting to see what sort of tactics start to come out. So let's look at the other one. Okay, so we got Bommal the Dreadhorn as the other boss. Bomb mechanics coming into the game. What's going on? What's going on, Plarium? What are you doing to us? So Bommal, what's he got in his kit? A1 attacks all enemies again. They love the AoEs. Decreases bomb debuff detonation countdowns by 1 turn. Also instantly activates any HP burns on targets and decreases the duration of those debuffs by a turn. So bombs coming on you and burning you for the A1. A2, attack all enemies, places HP burns on everyone for 3 turns. There's a passive effect here as well. Enemies will receive 100% more damage from HP burn debuffs for each bomb they're under. 100% more damage. Okay. A3, Rain of Bombs, removes all buffs from all enemies, then attacks, places a bomb on each enemy that takes 2 turns to detonate, places an additional bomb debuff for each buff they remove from this steal. So if he's clearing out a load of your buffs, you're getting bombed like crazy. The bomb debuffs cannot be blocked or removed. So cleanse doesn't work here. I'm guessing cannot be blocked means block debuff doesn't work, but the way I read it is you could probably still resist them, I think. A4 then, Dread Minions. So places increase attack buff on Bommal the Dreadhorn. So this is his little minions. He's got these little kind of bomb minions that will come into play. There are his little minions. So Dread Minions places increase attack buff on the big fella for 5 turns, then summons 2 Dread Bombs and gains an extra turn. The increased attack cannot be removed. Another passive effect here summons 1 Dread Bomb every time Bommal's turn meter is decreased. So anyone who's doing drop turn meter is summoning these little Dread Bombs. Let's just see what the Dread Bombs do quick. So Dread Bombs, A1 detonation is a passive. Explodes at the start of each turn and deals pure damage equal to 40% of this max HP if the Dread Bomb's not under a freeze. That's quite cool. So if you freeze the Dread Bombs, you're not getting the same sort of effect. Deals pure damage equal to 20% if they are under a freeze. Maybe this is a Pixnial kind of buff coming in. Pixnial coming in with the freezes might be helpful here. Damage inflicted will ignore shields. Sorry, Brogny. You're not going to be the only person to beat this one. Then they've got an A2 as well. Dread Bomb is immune to all debuffs, effects, and sources of damage except its own skills and freeze and HP burn debuffs. Fills the Dread Bomb's turn meter by 20% each time it receives damage from an HP burn debuff. So I'm guessing he must burn the bombs as well. His HP burn that goes out to all enemies must go on these as well. So you can freeze them, or you're going to take a ton of damage. That's basically the way it's going down. You freeze them, or you're going to take a ton of damage. And he's summoning them every time turn meter decreases happening to him. Wow, right. We then got a passive. Each time an enemy places any debuff except bomb debuffs on Bommal, places a bomb debuff on that enemy that detonates after 2 turns. So anything apart from bombs, you're getting a bomb back. These bombs cannot be blocked or removed. Each time a bomb debuff detonates on an enemy, 100% chance of placing a stun on all enemies. Bommal receives 200% more damage from bomb debuffs. So look, we finally got a boss here that we got to try and bomb to death. That's it. We got to try and bomb him to death, which is cool. It's cool. It means that bombs have now got a place in the game. And I think there's going to be some really interesting teams coming along. It feels like placing buffs on yourself is going to be naughty because you're going to get absolutely pulverized. Turn meter decreasing is going to be silly because you're going to get absolutely pulverized. It's going to be interesting. Passives again here. So stun, freeze, sleep, all the normal sort of stuff. Can't do it. Looks like there's nothing about can't be poisoned though. Albeit if you put poison on him, you're going to get bombed. Almighty strength can't. Same thing with the max HP. And the same thing about turn meter reduction. So even though he's spawning these dread bombs, if you try and turn meter reduce him, then it's still only half effective. Damn, this is a beast of a boss. These two bosses are going to be nasty. So cool that bombs are coming out of the vault potentially. And we've got some new mechanics to work around. What do you think? How into Doom Tower are you? How up for Doom Tower are you? I've been doing it on the free-to-play, honestly, and I've been really enjoying it. I'm on like floor 100 on normal, 60-odd days in, and I've been really enjoying it. But I know the game, and I like a challenge, and I know that this is a real challenge. There you go, guys. Comment below. What champions are you looking forward to testing out on these fellas? And, yeah, let's do it. I've been Hell Hades. I will see you later.